everybody. Thank you for joining us today with Viking Ocean. We're just going to let everybody just get into the group. If everybody could mute their mic. And if you have any questions, please just put it down in the chat and we'll do a really good job of answering it today. If we cannot, we will get the answer for you. Today, we're cruising with Ted, and we're going to be speaking with Darren Dolan, our BDM of Viking. And today we're going to be talking about Viking Ocean. Go ahead, Darren, take it away.
Hey, Roxanne, thank you so much. Thank you, as always, a great pleasure. Ted, Roxanne, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I know we've been working through the year on different product presentations. And today, as mentioned, we are going to be focusing on the oceans. Ted, if you can just allow me to share my screen, because I think we're still sharing your screen, or if somebody can
go ahead, go for it, Darren.
Thank you. Okay, folks, you should now be seeing my opening slide. Is that correct? We all good?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. So exciting times, indeed. It's been it's a magical year, actually. It's our 25th anniversary. So lots been happening in the company. A lot of great, exciting news items coming up. I've just been on the road to several conferences myself, and here I am back at home for just a brief moment before we're away again. You know, everybody probably on the call knows us as Viking River Cruises, and it's that home, that household brand that we became synonymous with, right? With our TV commercials, advertising, etc. And we listen to our clients. Many changes, additions, amendments have been made as a result of listening to our clients over the years. And this was one such huge change, huge addition that we made, because folks sailing with us on the rivers, we're doing so maybe, you know, 1 year, and then the next year they go cruise with another cruise line on the oceans, or go with their families, whatever it will be, and maybe come back every 2 years. We listen to our clients who said, we would love that Viking experience, but on ocean ships. And so we did. We moved ahead, and 2011 we announced our intentions to sail on the oceans. In 2015, the Viking Star was the first of our Viking Ocean vessels to launch. And the whole concept and the whole idea behind it, again, was to mirror as much as we possibly do on the rivers, but on deeper waters. So on smaller ocean vessels, maximizing length of time that we spend in port, bringing that destination focus, continuing being that highly inclusive product that we've been now phenomenal with, being an efficient operator. What does this mean to us all? It means building our ships identical. Today, we've reached the size of sailing vessels right now is 9, and there are more still in production and coming down the line very soon. But all the ships are identical as well. And of course, it goes without saying, just as we've done on the rivers, and it's remarkable to think we've done this, as I mentioned, from 2015, the launch of the initial vessel, to where we are today, sailing 9 ships, hiring and training and maintaining. And that's something we've done most successfully at doing. So it's been absolutely phenomenal. Again, knowing who you are sailing with, focusing on that Viking client, many of you whom have joined us here today for the presentation, I think really traveling with like-minded folks with very similar aspects and interests is super exciting. It brings a camaraderie together. Now, the ocean vessels are bigger than the river ships, but still, we still create and design the vessels that you know, public spaces are really the foremost, and you really do get to mingle with your fellow passengers and get to talk about, you know, interest of geography, history, food, wine, your journeys of the world. So it really is a huge aspect. It is our 25th anniversary. We know what we're doing. Again, it's something that we've done on the rivers at least for 25 years. It was just a matter of bringing over that same experience that we've garnished over the years and bringing that to deep water cruises, maximizing length of time in port, adding as many overnights as we possibly can on a small ship vessel. 930 guests are accommodated on our ocean ship. So we're not smallest in the industry, but we know by no means the largest either. So we do like to focus on the intimacy that the small ship program provides you. Goes without saying that we are destination driven. And when we talk about destination, that brings into play the culinary aspect as well. So a wonderful focus on bringing the foods of the region to the experience. As I love to say in some of the culinary presentations that I do for the company, I always like to say there's no better time to eat and taste the foods of a region while you're actually sailing through those regions. And we do an amazing job throughout our vessels. And, when we look at culinary aspects and culinary options, the inclusion of these 8 magnificent dining opportunities for you. And we go back to that Viking value, right? The no nickel and diming aspect that we talk about quite a bit. When we look at these 8 magical, wonderful dining experiences, not an additional penny is required on your behalf, just the reservations for the specialty dining, and away you go. So that enjoying dinners with dedicated regional options in the restaurant in the evening, enjoying the wonderful aspect of the Italian bistro in Manfredi's, very close to home to our chairman, Mr. Hagen. The recipes of his mom, his grandmom, great grandmother are enjoyed here in Mamson's at the Norwegian Deli. High tea in the Winter Garden, wine pairing aspects of a wonderful culinary design in the chef's table. Or one of my favorite things to do is dine at the World Cafe, and when weather allows, bringing a magnificent food to the outside and just taking in the beautiful, either we're sailing or we're docked somewhere beautiful. Great way to go. And what would a pool be without a grill? Magical hot dogs, hamburgers, grill options, salad bar, remarkable. Actually, an award-winning hamburger can be enjoyed at the pool grill. And if you just want to stay in your room and you just want to choose a wonderful item from our 24-hour room service, be our guest. A couple of my favorite items from there is a charcuterie board, maybe some sushi, aspects that we really don't consider when we think about room service on ocean ships. But as I mentioned, as one of the growth factors that we've experienced, you can ascertain the information and the guidance of Roxanne and Ted. I can come on and present to you. We can show you beautiful pictures and videos. But at the end of the day, it's, as I say, it's the proof is in the pudding, and it's getting to join us on board and absolutely experience these magnificent crew and staff members that we had. We do a remarkable job at recruiting. We take care of our guests, our crew and staff on board. They are the highest paid in the industry. They receive complimentary Wi-Fi, just like you and I would if you sail with Viking. It allows them to stay connected with loved ones back home and from the faraway places that they come from at no additional cost to them. They are legitimately happy. The smiles are authentic, and they just really go the extra mile to ensure that your experience on board is a remarkable one, and just to the enticing to bring you back for the next. It is remarkable, as I mentioned, that the growth that we've seen since 2015, and just by the end of the first year, just after 12 months already, Viking was nominated and won some prestigious awards and accolades in the industry as a brand new ocean cruise. Some of the other brands out there said beginner's luck won't last, particularly as they continue to build more ships. They're going to have to hire more people, et cetera, et cetera. Well, we are Vikings, and we love a challenge, and we heard, and we've continued. And today it's absolutely remarkable. What an absolute distinguished honor to be the first and only cruise line to hold #1 spot in both ocean and rivers, and voted by you, the client, you, the consumer, you, the traveler, in such magnificent publications as Condé Nast Travel, and also on the Reader's Choice Award as well from Condé Nast and Travel and Leisure. Remarkable. To say what we've done, as you will see below there, Travel and Leisure 16 through 2021. This just doesn't happen by luck. It happens by hard work. It happens by dedication. It happens as a result of those magnificent folks that we've got sailing with us and taking care of all your needs. So we're very, very proud of these accolades and awards. Our goal, obviously, is to maintain them and to surpass them. So it's something we work on every single day. We spoke about how the river cruise experience and the ocean cruise experience, as far as we possibly can, bring those as close as possible. And we do that by means of the cultural alignment of our ocean experiences. I just last week was on another cruise line, will remain unnamed. More in the contemporary market, and it was all about getting to the casinos, getting to the shows, sign up for this, sign up for that. The announcements were just ongoing. It was just something that we don't experience on Viking. It truly isn't. We're very, we like to consider ourselves as refined, culturally aligned, and let it be a relaxing intake, further educational experience for those guests joining us. So it goes without saying that we contract some of the most amazing lecturers to come on board and sail for that particular itinerary with us. Those that are well versed and well experienced in the region, of the history, of the geography, of the politics of the area. It is absolutely remarkable. So our lecture series alone is just worth joining us. It really is. Making sure that we're immersing ourselves culturally, not just while we're in port and enjoying the excursions that we offer, but also bringing some of that cultural immersive experiences on board the ship for clients to enjoy while sailing with us. Hey, Ted, look, I'm mentioning you. Ted's worth spreading. And we have within our theater, we have these two little mini breakaway theaters that during the day could be showing classical black and white movies or TED Talks, as we see. Again, it goes hand in hand with the Viking client, that like-mindedness, that want and that desire to further experience and to further broaden your horizons educationally and globally. Such wonderful exclusive commitments that we have and relationships. The Metropolitan Opera in New York, of course, bringing those aspects to the sea. The only cruise line that has drawn this wonderful experience together with the Metropolitan Opera. So coming to our theater, sitting down and watching it live in HD within our theater as long, but depending on the opera that's playing at that particular time. So just an idea of how culturally aligned we are on board. And of course, destination. We said that already, and the world is our oyster. I'm not even taking the expedition vessels into account that we discussed in our last presentation, which are going to be taking care of the Arctic, the Antarctic, and such regions. But when we look at this world map, with the 9 ships that we currently have operating, we have the globe covered. And by having these 9 identical vessels, how is it an advantage for us? It allows us to position these ships globally and seasonally. And we can just move around our itineraries. In the perfect world, of course, I know we've just come through the COVID and many countries closed down to travelers and such. And the reawakening is back up in center, which is really, really exciting for us all. The example that I use here, because it's pretty much central on this map in the south there, 2 countries that have just opened up their doors and welcoming clients back again, Australia and New Zealand. We're able to take one of our vessels and position it down in New Zealand or Australia from November through March, the entire summer season. So that allows you to choose from a wider array of departure dates as we sail from New Zealand to Australia, Australia to New Zealand. So that was just one example, of course, and it allows us to position a ship in Southeast Asia. It allows us in the summer months in the Northern Hemisphere to position 3 vessels in the Mediterranean, one operating Eastern Med, one Western Med, and one operating in the longer itineraries. Having Bergen in Norway as our home port for all things Northern Europe, sailing up to Honningsvach in the North Cape, taking in either the wonderful midnight sun, right, or during the cooler months of January, February, March, sailing the fjords and heading our way up to Honningsvach to experience the green lights up the northern regions of the fjords in sorts of the northern lights. Absolutely remarkable. Also allowing us to sail the Baltics. Well, the Baltics, of course, at this moment is not as free-flowing as we were originally, with obviously obstructions and the political situation, in particular in the Eastern Baltics. We still will be operating our Baltics cruises, but on revised itineraries. sailing across the Atlantic over to the Americas, home porting in San Juan, Puerto Rico for the Caribbean season, sailing all the way down to Barbados and back north, sailing around the Horn of South America, Valparaiso to Santiago, sailing out of Fort Lauderdale to enjoy the Panama Canal. In full foliage time, just coming around the corner, right? Sailing out of New York and enjoying the beautiful fall foliage cruises of the Northeast. Having a ship that located in Alaska, sailing obviously Vancouver, sailing all the way up to Seward and back again. And we have not stopped. You know, we will continue. As I mentioned, we have several new ships on order, which are being built at this present time. And as the world continues to open up, we'll be able to position more ships globally and seasonally. Just a few of the highlights, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to go through the day-by-days on these because we would be here forever. But just so you get an idea and a feel of the destinations that we do. These are general destinations. Again, for any further information, feel free to reach out to Ted and the team, and they will definitely be able to get you dates, pricing, availability. I just spoke about Australia and New Zealand. So of course, as I mentioned, we have a long sailing season down in the Southern Pacific there in Australia, New Zealand. Having a ship normally located in Bangkok, Bali, and beyond for Southeast Asia. Again, as you notice, we're not going down to this part of the world for an 8-day cruise. It's just not worth the while, right? So if we're sailing and flying down to this region, we're doing so for at least a 2-week period. And as always, with all our itineraries, river, ocean, or whatever that would be, the opportunity to book your pre and post stops, especially if we are going to this part of the world. You know, who knows when we're back? Is this the first time, once in a lifetime trip? You know, expand, really maximize the opportunity that you're going to have sailing down to here. I just spoke about now as well, South America and the Chilean fjords, rounding the Horn, for instance. What an amazing experience that will be within this 18 days, enjoying 4 different countries along the way. And always that wonderful mix of scenic sailing as well as overnight experiences. Always be on the lookout for the white circle in our itinerary maps, because those do indicate that we're overnighting on the ship, and many of our itineraries do so. I spoke about Puerto Rico being our home port, San Juan, Puerto Rico for our Caribbean sailings. So we really get, you know, we rid ourselves of that crossing that we have from either Miami or Fort Lauderdale that takes us then to San Juan, as many cruise lines do. It's just a dead at sea days, really they are. Let's take the time, fly over to San Juan, join the ship there, and then allows us within that 11 days to travel all the way far south as at Barbados and make our way back northwards again with different ports of call along the way. I spoke about Alaska, the Inside Passage. 2019 was our inaugural season. Of course, we weren't able to operate there in 2020, but we are back up and running again in Alaska and the Inside Passage. Just a few of the wonderful experiences we get to sail as well. Sailing into Brazil, and oh my goodness, and down into Manaus. It goes without saying, sailing as far down into the Amazon as we possibly can, that the ship will allow us to do so. Smaller vessels, the further down the Amazon you could sail. So a wonderful round trip, and that's very important here on an extended 3-week itinerary. Caribbean to the Amazon, my goodness, taking in the Caribbean, Southern America as well as then sailing down the Amazon. I mentioned earlier as well, but the Eastern Seaboard Explorer, what a beautiful time of the year to enjoy as we sail here from Montreal to New York, or New York to Montreal, depending on the direction. And again, always an indicator of those white circles showing that we'll be overnighting on board the vessel to maximize the length of time to spend in these more important ports of call. We may have some transatlantic lovers joining us today. We have transatlantics in many variables. Absolutely, we do. Here's very traditional, of course. In this aspect, we'll be sailing from Barcelona to Miami. That's actually just recently changed. We are now sailing to Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is now our new assigned South Florida port of call. So this has to be updated. But again, within that 2-week crossing, sailing from Barcelona to Funchal in Madeira. First port of call along the way will be in St. Martin, and then all the way to Miami as well. But as I mentioned, we have several variants of our transatlantic crossing. I spoke earlier about Bergen being our home port for everything in the Baltics. Bergen, very important call for us, port of call. It is the birthplace of our chairman, Mr. Torsten Hagen. So we've got a very close proximity and relationship to the city of Bergen, and what a beautiful location it is. So anything sailing in or out of in North European itineraries will be home ported, embarking or debarking in the city of Bergen. I mentioned this particular case is the itinerary is very similar to go all year round, but during the months of January, February, March, for those bucket list item collectors, you've wanted to experience the Northern Lights, then come join us as we sail through the Norwegian fjords all the way up to the northern coast there of Tromsø, Alta, as you would see, and take in this magnificent natural beauty that occurs. And each and every sailing that we've provided since we initiated this itinerary has been successful in sighting. So absolutely beautiful. Again, very similar, except for this particular case, we are going to go just a little bit further north. The weather allows us to do so, of course, all the way to the North Cape to Honningsvik for another 2-week itinerary with wonderful ports of call, even down into the British Isles as well. British Isles Explorer, a little bit different because, again, we are on the northern reaches, so we are sailing in or out of Bergen. But again, as you will well see, this is definitely a 2-week experience with major focus on some wonderful, wonderful ports, of course. Some that are a little unique in the aspect when you think of Holyhead in Wales, of course, not visited by many cruise lines at all. The cultural aspect of Liverpool, Belfast with its wonderful history of there too. So wonderful opportunity for you to enjoy the British Isles on this particular itinerary. A magnificent 2-week itinerary from Barcelona all the way to Bergen. I mean, this sailing itself could be done in 5 days, but again, allowing us to make as many ports of call in order for you to experience as much culture and history, as we possibly can, and this magnificent itinerary is really remarkable, and takes us back to the days of the trade when the goods from Asia were brought then to Spain, and then the merchant ships would bring them from Spain into Northern Europe. Viking Shores and Fjords, another wonderful itinerary here, Amsterdam to Bergen. So giving you just a glimpse of the Baltic. So if it was a region area you'd love to experience and really short on time, then the Viking Shores and Fjords definitely gives an opportunity for you to enjoy the southern reaches of Norway, not getting as far north into the fjords as we looked at seeing in the other itineraries, but this nice little snapshot, I like to say. I mentioned as well transatlantics. This to me is my favorite transatlantic we do because it's transatlantic, but it's by land. And it is literally in the wake of the Vikings that we would have seen. So setting sail again from Bergen, going to the Shetland Isles, to the Faroe Isles, to Tórshavn, up to Reykjavik in Iceland, and then skimming the southern coast of Greenland into Newfoundland, and then down into Montreal. So again, for those who do love to transit and enjoy a transatlantic experience, this is quite unique. It's a little bit of a different way to do so, because again, for the majority of the time, we are in port, as you would see here, staying true to our roots, and that, as I mentioned, the maximization of destination is something that we're about. Mediterranean, it goes without saying, as I mentioned, at any given time, we could have up to 3 ships sailing in the Mediterranean, depending on the season. Anywhere from an 8 to a 28-day cruise in the Mediterranean, we could actually change the entire experience. But here, taking in the cultural aspects of Barcelona, and then the French Rivieras, down into the Italian Rivieras, and finally into Rome. This will probably be our #1 popular itinerary in the Med. Because of its proximity, it is 14 days long, or 13 days long, as you would see here, 2 weeks for argument's sake, sailing all the major cultural highlight ports of call from Barcelona to Venice, or Venice to Barcelona. And as we enter into the Eastern Med as well, new itineraries being added all the time, really culturally aligned. They truly are. Again, I spoke about the aspects of history, geography, religion, of course, plays a huge part in that as well. And in this particular case, with the cities of antiquity, another magnificent 2-week experience, bringing in, the really focus on the Catholic aspect of course, coming from Rome and the Vatican, making our way down to the Jewish aspect of Israel, and then back up into the Greek Isles. A remarkable itinerary. And again, another just short 10-day, bringing in the aspect of combination of the Dalmatian coast and the Adriatic, sailing from Venice to Athens, another remarkable itinerary. I just love that whole Dalmatian coast, the Adriatics, one of my favorite places in the world. It truly is. And the list goes on. Now we've added back Istanbul, right? So Kusadasi was off the map for a little while due to the situation, but obviously we monitor worldwide situations, and then we felt comfortable at that time then to reintroduce Kusadasi, Istanbul as the port of call. This obviously allows us then to incorporate Turkey as well as the Greek Isles, and as you see here, ultimately into Rome as well. So, as I said, the world is our oyster. It truly is. We truly believe that there is something out there for everyone based on length of itinerary, based on destination. The fact that we can keep the ships in locations for longer time periods, it really gives us a great advantage and provide you a wider scope of cruise dates. We can't all sail at the same time, right? We're all individual. We've all got different things going on. So what we find is we usually have something for everybody out there. Those were the itinerary overview. Let's look at the ship briefly before we move on to Ted. As mentioned, state-of-the-art vessels. 49,000 tons. We are up under 1,000 passengers with 930 guests on board. At the very minimum, your accommodation will be a veranda, period. That will be the leading category, 270 square feet with a veranda. There are no sliding French doors. There's no insides. There's no portholes, nothing such that. So, and as we always do, and we'll look at here in the images, a wide array of accommodations for you to choose from. Very typical of what the Viking ships are. Ship that is dedicated to public space and openness. Remember, on our vessels, we do not have casinos. Casinos cost money. Casinos take up space. We rather take that space that would have been and we dedicate it to other public areas on board. I've had the distinct pleasure and privilege of sailing on our vessels several times, each time full. And at each time, I've never felt that I've been unclosed. I've never felt closed in. I've never felt that I've been standing really long lines, as my experience was last week. So it really is this wonderful open feel. Again, we've only looking at the 8 decks, right? So there's nothing large with the elevator banks, both forward and aft as well. It is absolutely a remarkable vessel. We took the same architects, same designers as we had on our award-winning Viking longships on the rivers. We brought that feel over to the ocean ship. So they designed it, they built it with all the same feel, the same materials. We always talk about the wood, the metal. The glass aspect of the ship is remarkable. We have natural light filtering in wherever you may be on the ship. And it truly is that one, it defines that Scandinavian contemporary design that we have with our, it's like stepping foot onto our river ships in the foyer as well. Here in the atrium on the ocean ships, it is welcoming. It is well lit. We have the light filtering in. It's open. It is absolutely remarkable. And just a single example of how that feeling goes throughout the ship. Very homely, as you see, these little areas within the living room, little dedicated areas where you can just meet with your fellow passengers or friends for pre-dinner cocktails, listen to some wonderful contemporary music and display. It is just, it's that home from home, and that's really what we've gone for. We use that descriptive of ships that are built for discovery and destination. And I don't think any area on the ship defines that more than the Explorer's Lounge. The Explorer's Lounge in all our vessels is a 2-deck area, viewing area. You're ensconced by the windows, as you see here. Just a perfect location, again, for viewing, for enjoying cocktails, listening to light entertainment in the evenings. This will, on several of our vessels, this is how the upper deck of the Explorer's Lounge would look. And we speak about the glass aspect, and one of my favorite places on board, and probably one of the most underutilized areas on board, is the Winter Garden. it's kind of a secret area, although it's visible and viewable by everyone. But very few people actually go into the Winter Garden during the day. It's very quiet. It's a lovely place to catch a book and read a book and sit down and, just hear nothing, basically. But come the afternoon, around about 3 o'clock, when it's high tea time, this location really just explodes into life. And we have our wait staff walking around with the wonderful tea menus and the tea trays with the sandwiches and baked goods. We have our classical trio playing in the background, and it just becomes this wonderful hive of activity, enjoying a high tea in the Winter Garden. And as we step back from the Winter Garden, again, glass, right? Look how light and warm, entertaining and welcoming this location is. And a very unique aspect of the ship, while we are here in the main pool, we look at the top, we said, but Darren, but the pools are enclosed. No, it is at this particular instance, but that is a retractable roof. And just by click of a mere switch, a few moments later, either the roof is closed or opened based on need, based on the weather conditions, based on humidity and heat. We can manage that accordingly. So it allows us to use the main pool area all year round in all weather conditions. And it also allows us, by managing that, to not have to cancel any of the main pool area activities in the evening. For instance, say the movies under the stars, it would be ahead here, or our pool party when we have all members of our entertainment group come together and perform for us live up in this area. If it was raining or hailing, we would simply close the retractable roof, and as we like to say, the party goes on. The beautiful view of the infinity pool from the aft area, part of the just adjacent to the dining area of the Aquavit and the World Cafe. The spa is remarkable. Live Nordic is our spa partners. It is a Scandinavian spa experience, complimentary and open to all within the circuit that you run, coming in, starting in the steam room, getting your body temperatures up, and then crossing across then into the snow grotto and patting yourself down with this fresh snow that comes from the blowers. So you've got from the heat aspect down to the chilling aspect, and then you go into the thermal pool, get your body temperatures back up into the plug, and then finalizing that with the old bucket, right? They're pulling the bucket with the ice water. Again, it's invigorating. It's that traditional Scandinavian bathing experience. Of course, a wonderful location to enjoy either before or after any of our spa services, from the hair to the massages. We really do offer it all. The state-of-the-art health center, the gym that we have on board, remarkable. We do Pilates, we have classes. It is an absolutely amazing location. Well, we need them sometimes because we're going to eat a lot, as we saw in one of the initial slides where we had the 8 dining versions there. I won't speak too much about these restaurants. I think I already did it in that opening slide. But here in the restaurant's open and for dinners, seating anywhere from 2 to groups of 8. Again, the menus have dedicated regional segments to them. They have the favorites of the day again, always. And if we are in port and we docked and the weather conditions are right, we can actually open up the windows here to enjoy kind of an al fresco main restaurant dining experience. Quite unique in the industry, I have to say. We spoke earlier about enjoying the Italian aspect of dining here at Manfredi's Italian. Again, no additional cost. It's just based mainly just on reservations. And just remarkable antipasti tray. As we can see here, the magnificent Parmesan wheels. There is a beefsteak that we do in here, ribeye that's marinated for 48 hours. It is just absolutely amazing. A little private dining area just off the Manfredi's as well. Both our specialty dining restaurants have these 2 private dining areas, accommodating up to 10 guests. So if you are celebrating a birthday, anniversary, what it be, and you have a small group that makes up of 10, we can arrange for you to dine here in the private dining room. Menus remain the same. It's just a private area adjacent to the restaurant. The chef's table for the real food lover. This is an amazing dining experience. It is not a quick dinner. I will forewarn you, due to the nature of the course by course wine pairing aspect. Of course, it does take quite a while. Each course is paired with a particular wine. The sommelier and the wait staff will explain the pairing to you, and you just sit back and enjoy your journey. We changed the menu option for this particular experience. We host a one particular menu for 3 days. Then we change, so it could be the spices of the East for 3 days, right? So we have this Asian influence, and then the next 3 days it could be welcome to the Mediterranean, and then the chef and the brigade then create this wonderful themed Mediterranean aspect with the wine pairings as well. I mentioned earlier about Mamson's, very informal dining area, very light fare, nice place to get these magnificent Norwegian waffles in the morning, open sandwiches in the afternoon, with magnificent split pea soup in the evening. And this is located right there by the Explorers Lounge. So again, a beautiful dining area for you to enjoy. And mentioned the World Cafe is just this magnificent food preparation area, open kitchen. You see everything being made, foods of the world, and then where the weather permits, we can just simply take our food from the World Cafe and bring it out to my favorite place on board and eat at al fresco here on the Aquavit Terrace. Those familiar with our brand, if you've sailed on our long ships, you will be aware of the fact that the Aquavit Terrace is the alternate dining, al fresco dining area on our long ships on the rivers of Europe. There, we're not traveling too fast, not too far. So the Aquavit Terrace on the river ships is located forward. Here on the ocean, it is located aft, of course, because we will be sailing the wide oceans. And then finally, the accommodations. As mentioned, as all typical of all Viking vessels, a wide array of accommodations. And it was also mentioned as well, the fact that we are at the very minimum going to be enjoying a veranda stateroom. And from there, we just go up. King size beds. These beds can be made into single, into twins if so requested. Spacious. Every thought is gone into every single inch of the design of our accommodations. Absolutely remarkable. From the veranda stateroom to the deluxe verandas, to the penthouse verandas. Now we're going to 340 square feet. Penthouse junior suites, there is an array of them throughout. The ability to section off your living area from your sleeping area as you so wish, or you may just wish to keep it as one open plan. You're able to do so as well. Okay, this will be the living area, and of course, what made us famous on the river ships as well, the suites, the Explorer suites. And here on the oceans, we have 8 Explorer suites. 4 are facing aft, 4 are facing forward. They are a little bit different in their configuration, but each will have a separate bedroom, lounge area, entertainment area, and wraparound veranda wherever you will be. Of course, there is added amenities the higher we go in our category accommodations. But again, we just always like to say that we have something for everyone based on your budget and based on your want for square footage.
Excuse me, Darren.
Yes, sir.
Just want to remind people they have questions to put them in the chat. And in just a couple minutes, we'll be doing a little quiz. So I hope everyone is paying attention.
And I have reached the end of mine.
Because there will be a quiz. Okay. Well,
I can't give you any more. That's all I have.
That's it? You're out of breath already?
I am indeed.
Oh boy, kind of short today. Roxanne, anything you wanted to say? Why don't you take a minute to introduce yourself?
No, I'd just like to say,
questions, let them
yeah,
know
of
about
course.
Viking, what we can
Okay.
do, and then we'll do our little spiel.
Yeah, sure. Great. Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining us. Darren, that was so great. It was full of so much information. We do have a few questions here in the chat room.
Yep.
So we do have Patricia Harrison. She's going on the World Cruise in 2023. And she has a few countries that she has questions on: Sri Lanka and Myanmar.
Okay.
Did you have any feedback on those two?
As I mentioned during the presentation, as the world continues to open up, we are in an ever-changing world. I don't want to sound like a politician in this aspect, but by all means, as it is changing, as you can well see by the world, we have 464, as a company, 466 ports of call in an ever-changing world. The best and the advice I can give, if not working already with the World Club desk, the World Cruise desk, those are the folks with the fingers on the pulse. They're the ones who are receiving updates on a daily basis. Did we say the 22 World Cruise or the 23 World Cruise?
That was for 23 they were asking about. And also with the World Voyage, they were asking, what is the timeline on finding out about visas?
So the fact that we provide all the visa information for our World Cruise guests anyway is magnificent. As we've experienced over the last, particularly over last year and the year before that as well, ever-changing requirements. You know, where are we going? What do we have to redesign? Does the new country we're going to require visas? So all those aspects. And again, I'm not palming it off. I'm here to give general information as much as I possibly can. The World Cruise desk is the absolute best resource for you. It truly is. And obviously, if they're booking through you folks, obviously you are their ambassador to reach out to the World Cruise desk as well. I'm sorry I can't be more specific in those answers, but you know, again, what was this morning has changed tonight.
And then we just have one last question for the docking in Venice.
Yes.
What do you have for Venice for us, Darren?
We have had, just as everybody else has had to Trieste, as we've had to move our docking spot, regrettably, right? So as everybody else. The Venice location now is somewhere between 20 to 25 minute transfer from the city of Venice as well. We have obviously our motor coaches are providing transfers in and out of the city of Venice. So while we're not located specifically in Venice, we are not missing Venice, but it is a requirement, you know, unfortunately, the fact that we then have to transfer by motor coach to the city back to the ship. The actual, something I just got to learn recently as well, is the fact that we are still using the port of Venice for embarkation, debarkation. So you actually going into the cruise terminal, because where all the ocean ships are docking now is there's no actual cruise port there, right? Or passenger port. So the embarkation, debarkation is still taking place at the cruise terminal in Venice. But then we are, once done, we are then transferred to our ship, which is again some 20-25 minutes away.
Thank you. You know what? One more just popped up here, Darren. What about docking in LA? Is it San Pedro or are you in Long Beach?
It was Long Beach. Yep.
Yep, Long Beach. Okay, great. I think that's all the questions we have right now. So I would like to introduce Ted Karbowski, the president of Cruisin With Ted. And go ahead, Ted.
Hi, everybody. This is Cruisin With Ted. Thanks for joining us today. I know you have very busy schedules, so we appreciate you coming. So for all of you people that go on Viking cruises or are interested on Viking cruises, or any of my travel agent colleagues, welcome and thank you for attending today. Darren, there was one other question. I don't want to put you on the spot here, but many people have been asking me about the Mississippi sailings. Could you just give us a little bit information on what's going on there?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like everything in the world, we were very optimistic of setting sail on time. Regrettably, the COVID just caught us up. And for that matter, then the initial inaugural cruise unfortunately had to be postponed. Due to the fact that the ship is not yet 100% complete, but all is looking good. Hopefully now for the second sailing that we've got coming ahead up to us here, coming up in September. We are in September. And then from...
All right. Thank you so much, Darren. So we're going to do something a little bit different today. Usually I go on to spiel about my services and what we have to offer here at Cruisin With Ted. And I know many of you have heard that already. Some of you might already be working with us, but because it's the 25th anniversary of Viking, and since I've been with Viking almost the whole time, selling Viking, doing Viking, going on Viking, I recall the time I first met Darren Dolan, where he came to the agency where I worked at, a travel agency, And Viking started out with something that was really cool, where they had a Viking trivia contest. And the agency that got the most answers right got a free Viking cruise. Well, guess what? Our agency won because we were the most knowledgeable about, but we got a free cruise, right? Right, Darren?
That was correct. Yes.
Just for paying attention. So that's why I said earlier that you need to pay attention here, because we're not giving away a free cruise, but we would like to give you a chance to do a little Viking trivia. Is that okay with you guys? All right, okay, let's get started here. So so Viking trivia. So let's celebrate 25 years of sailing. Okay, so you ready for the first one? So Roxanne, what I want you to do is now go to the chat box, people. Get ready to open up your chat box. I think it's Alt H or something like that to open it up. But that's where you can answer the question. You put the number of the question in the answer. So Roxanne, you keep track of who answers first. And there's no cheating. You can't use the internet. You can't use your wife. Okay. We can't. Of course, we have no way to police that, right, Darren?
I think you guys are gonna know the answers. Yeah.
These are
Very
really,
smart.
really hard. So I know it's gonna be tough. Okay. It's like that show Jeopardy. All right. So here's the first one, guys. So who is the founder and chairman of Viking Cruises? Okay, that's a tough one. I know it's gonna be hard. So Roxanne, you let me know when you see some answers in the chat box. You might have to help them.
Oh, we have an answer from Shauna Boyles, and she is correct.
And what does Shauna Boyle say?
Torstein Hagen.
Let's see if she's right. Torstein Hagen, born 1943, is a Norwegian billionaire businessman and the founder and chairman of Viking Cruises. All right. So if you want to be a billionaire, you can start your own cruise line. How's that? Right, Darren?
It also helps to be a rocket scientist as well.
He's a pretty smart guy. I mean, who would have thought, they started out with, some river cruises and stuff going on, and they bought out, they bought out another company. And how many total ships are there today? Any idea?
We have 82 river and 9 ocean.
Whoa. Isn't that amazing? In 25 years, I don't think there's anything in any industry, at least in the hospitality industry, to match that. Is there, Darren?
None at all. Nobody comes close to that.
All right. You guys ready for the second question? All right. Let's get a different person winning this time. What was the name of the first Viking ocean vessel? The first Viking ocean vessel. Roxanne?
Oh, Shauna coming in strong here.
Shauna's killing it. What does Shauna say?
The Viking Star. Good job, Shauna.
Let's see if she's right. The Viking Star was Viking's first ocean vessel. She entered service in April of 2015. Good job, Shauna. All right, let's see if there's anybody going to challenge Shauna. Okay, Darren?
That's great. It's looking good. She's coming to take your job.
I don't know if she won my job.
Come to take mine.
All right, how many Viking? We'll see who was paying attention during the presentation. Now, this is a really tough one. How many Viking ships have casinos?
Okay, Patricia, she came in.
What'd she say?
Zero casinos.
Let's see if she's right. Let's see. They probably have like 20, right? 0. None of the Viking ships have casinos, as Darren previously explained. Okay. They don't have sliding, those super slides or anything like that either, huh?
No.
For all the kiddies on board. All right, let's go to the next one. We're having fun, right? What is the name of the casual outdoor space? So it's either located at the front or the back of the ship, right, Darren? Depending on the.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I did mention it.
Okay.
He mentioned it. Anybody know?
Yeah, we got Shauna and Patricia coming in at the same time with both correct answers. Shauna with the
Aquavit Terrace.
And Patricia with the Winter Garden. Is the Winter
that
Garden
true
correct,
too?
Darren?
Well, that could be true too, right, Darren? Can you? We
regrettably,
need a call on this.
The correct answer is the Aquavit Terrace. It is an alternate dining venue that's located forward on all our river ships and aft, as I mentioned, adjacent to the Wall Cafe on our ocean ships. The Winter Garden is that location is actually it's an internal location
Okay.
within there. So where we enjoy our high teas, but it is definitely a location on our ocean ships. But the correct answer definitely is Aquavit Terrace.
So the judge has answered there. Okay. He gave his adjudication. Thank you, sir. All right. In which year was Viking Cruises originally founded? In which year was Viking Cruises originally founded? Hint, 25-year anniversary. Can't use a calculator.
Everybody's
Anybody?
using fingers.
Anybody, Roxanne?
Not yet.
Oh boy, could be here all day. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun.
Shanna, doing really good
countdown.
over here. We need to
What'd you
hire
say?
Shanna. 1997.
97.
All right, is she correct? The correct answer was Viking was founded in 1997 with the vision that travel could be more destination focused and culturally immersive. Good job. Good job. All right, we got two more. Okay, stay tuned. You guys seem like you're pretty excited about this, huh? All right. What is the name of Viking's loyalty program? What is the name of Viking's loyalty program? Question 6. Answer, Roxanne?
Patricia came
Oh.
in with the Explorer. You're missing a few words, Patricia,
Yeah, it's
but
gotta
you're
be complete.
close. You're close.
We already got a hint. All right. The Viking Explorer Society is the past passenger loyalty program for Viking Ocean River Cruises and also, well, expedition as well, of course. All right, this is the last, the penultimate question, guys. Your last chance. What are the names of Viking's 2 expedition ships? What are the names of? Is anybody left out there still watching? What?
Yeah, they're watching.
There's a
Look, we didn't really go over this, but it's just, this is
well,
fun.
because we're
Like,
doing
travel
ocean.
is
Maybe
fun.
that's not fair. But this is a whole Viking review. What are the names of Viking's 2 expedition ships? Nobody?
Not yet.
All
yet.
right, all right. Well, we're going to help you with this one.
The 2 stars.
The Vikings' 2 expedition ships, the Octantis and the Polaris, is that right? Are both
Yes.
designed and
Yes.
sized for discovery. Okay. All right, great job. All right, Roxanne, do you want to? Who had the most numbers right?
Well, look, Patricia and, well, Shauna did, but Patricia and Shauna, they participated, did a great job. So even all you guys just to sit there and listen to us was fun. Travel is fun. Thanks for just hanging out. That's great.
And reach out to Roxanne. She'll give you an extra special discount, okay?
Yeah,
There's
what's
her,
up?
there's her email. Okay, so here's Cruisin with Ted. We have a website, guys, cruisinwithed.com. We are travel agents. We deal with, all the different cruise lines, all the different tour companies. We do go on our website because we do offer
You're
extra
just hearing
perks.
stuff. Why?
I'm sorry, was that?
Dave, could
No,
you just
'cause we're
mute your
going-
screen?
We have a
Dave,
we have a soccer game that we're going to on Sunday.
hey, Dave, Woodcock, are you out there?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
What's up, Dave?
It may have been from church
Yeah,
because
can you
I
mute
know
him?
Dwight Watson's family lives in North Carolina, but not us.
Sorry, guys.
I know I've mentioned to you in the past about making a run to
Okay, we got
Maker's
him.
Mark?
I'm not
But he
sure.
never
Let
did.
me mute him. He's on the phone. Okay, all right. Thanks a lot, Dave, for your input there. He was on the phone. So you can receive our special perks and you can register here for our travel perks, okay? So go on our website, cruisinwithed.com, and you can win a vacation stay for 2 right here, guys. So that's really cool. And by the way, our extra perks are, Roxanne, can you explain extra perks? Like, what if you're already booked? What do they do?
Yeah, if you guys are booked with Viking, only if you've booked direct. If you have your own travel agent, that's great. But if you've booked directly with Viking in the last 60 days, reach out. And we do have amenities if you're on a river, ocean, expedition, give us a call, World Voyage. We got great things to offer you.
Excellent, excellent. So not everybody qualifies for these extra perks. So you got to call Roxanne and see if you do, okay? And even if you haven't booked yet, call us and we'll give you ideas on what to do. We do represent all the different cruise lines. This is our Viking Cruises River, Ocean, and Expedition. We have 10,000 members right now in our Facebook group. So join our Facebook group, talk to other Viking cruisers. We have another Facebook group for World Cruises. You can join that one as well with over 500 members. Viking World Cruise Explorers, we have a Facebook group there. There's our Facebook page, Cruisin With Ted. Every day we're posting information about Viking, about river cruising, ocean, expedition, lots of things pertinent to what you're doing in travel. All the latest news, like our Facebook page, Cruisin With Ted. And here's all our information. There's how you can reach us. You can call us, you can email us, you can go to our website. We even have our own Viking website, so copy that right there. You can go to our Viking website. Darren, did you have anything else you would like to share?
No, just thank you so much. What a wonderful attendance, and I lovely listening to the quiz that brought back quite a few memories. To everybody, thank you also very much. Great questions. Again, the world is coming back. We're not perfectly back yet. So there are still challenges, and pack your patience if you are traveling with us, anyone and anywhere, getting on a plane is a challenge. So hang in there, and we'll be all back. And just make sure, please, there is no benefit whatsoever in booking direct with the cruise line. Honestly, there is none whatsoever. So people ask me, why are you saying that you were Viking? I am Viking. But my role at the company has been for 11 years is to ensure that taking advantage of using our wonderful travel partners, such as Ted and the team here. So that's where the real benefit lies in making and utilizing a travel advisor who is available to you 24 hours a day. So on behalf of, again, Ted, thank you so much for the opportunity to present to your clients.
Thank you so much, Darren. Darren is awesome. We love working with Viking, particularly because of Darren. One other thing is we will be posting a copy of the recording of this in our Facebook page, Cruisin With Ted, and also our different Facebook Viking groups that we've already mentioned. So please keep cruising with Viking. Viking is amazing. They offer the best opportunity to see the world. They're the safest, they're the most fair cruise line when it comes to the whole pandemic and what's transpired. So we love you, Viking, and I'm sure you do as well. And thank you for attending today. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Roxanne. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Keep
Thank you, everybody.
sailing. Bye-bye.